9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
Joy Seekers are live.
And welcome to the Sunday. It's 8 p.m. or it's not 8 p.m.
Hello.
Don't tell anyone the clock's slow. So, and Kev's back with us tonight. Good old Kev. And Terry's over there. Mark is over there. And Jackie's down there and over there. So, okay, so yes, so hope we're all having. Oh, and Sarah's here as well.
Can I order my BLT now?
Yeah. Everyone get their orders in with Sarah before she goes.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Look at that. No. Anyway, let's have a look and see who we've got joined us in this chat room. Russell's been here since 7:31. Russell's always the first one there.
Russell's always there.
And Matty and Brian, Jerry, and
Gary and Chuck.
And I have to roll right down because I'm talking to you. And on Gary. Hi, Gary. Gary's here early today.
Growing World.
Love getting joke. And have I missed anyone? No.
Wait, has Gary got a joke there ready? Because I got nothing, Gary. You're gonna have to.
Yeah, Gary. What we've actually done, we kept it a secret. But if you look at your TV, there's a camera, and we're just going to stream into live. So we thought, being as you don't want to come on here, we thought we'd just invade your house instead, all right? Now, Gary, Terry's television a bit. Oh, you not really, Gary. Joke.
No, not really. We're just
Steady on.
Whoa, he says, whoa.
Whoa, steady on, whoa.
One day.
So, what's everyone been up to then? Everyone been out flying? I know Terry and Jackie has.
Yeah, we did a fabulous days flying at an old Roman mine site in a place called Portman.
Okay.
And we followed a dry riverbed up into the mountains with the drones. What else did we do?
Then we had a full English breakfast. Yeah.
A full English breakfast in a Bulgarian restaurant.
Yeah.
And it was lovely. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, that camera. Then, Gary.
We didn't plant the camera, we just hid it.
Chuck's been flying around Lake Placid in New York, I guess.
Yeah, here in Idaho, I found an old Roman settlement that I flew my drone around a little bit.
Hey, in Idaho.
No, we don't have that.
It's a Walt Disney Roman settlement here in Idaho.
For a minute there, Mark, because I started thinking, I don't remember the Romans ever going to.
Our chief guide is Idaho quadcopter.
Yeah.
I'm only a tad late. You're not too late. Don't worry. Coast to coast, you're not too late. No.
It was very good, actually, on Tuesday, because once again, the versatility of the FPV drone, it was just fabulous. Going up this dry riverbed, right into the mountains, and you could see where the landfall from the mines was, and the actual fall of debris and stuff down into the bay. And it was great. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Good little spot, wasn't it?
It was excellent.
Yeah.
Brian said he's been out around Kilda Water in Northumberland.
Oh, was that by the Kilda Dam?
I guess so. Yeah, I'm sure Brian can clarify that, but it sounds like the very place.
Why, it's beautiful there, isn't it?
Is it anywhere close to Hadrian's Wall?
No,
Not
really.
But that's kind of in the borders area, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
Brian, we're how far away from Hadrian's Wall in? What's this? How's
Kevin,
Marcus? Jackie Stephen.
That's
Niven.
Michael.
Kev's our geography man.
That's not Niven. What,
North
David?
Northumberland is
That's Nivik.
It's
Oh, yes.
close enough.
It is Terry.
What?
But Brian says it is
It is.
Terry. Yes.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, Kildare, yes. Thanks, Brian. I cycled round there, actually.
Oh, because I thought he said he's near Hadrian's Wall, but I don't think it is.
can't be far off, can it? Northumberland. I mean, that's
It's Northumberland, but Hadrian's Wall is more into Scotland, isn't it? And where the Romans built that to keep the barbarians out.
Hey, are you calling Brian a barbarian?
No, he was one of the good ones.
Don't upset Brian before I go up there and take it out on me.
Hey, it's Brian Drabby the Bruce.
Brian the Bruce.
Brian the Bruce, yeah. I like his tractor pictures.
Yeah, that's right. We got to, all kidding aside, some of the pictures and videography that Brian comes up with just blow me away. It's just always a treat to see his posts.
I mean, you think about it. How many people can say they can open their front door and there's a castle, bing, right in your front of your face?
Yeah.
Oh, they're fabulous.
Oh,
I
there
tell
you
you,
go.
the other video I saw this week was from Ross. And
Oh,
he
yeah,
did that-
climbing that rock.
climbing that mountain. Wasn't it fantastic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right up. Yeah, keep that.
No, I'll be right up there.
Coming road. Howdy, folks.
Our
That's
friend
right,
Ross,
Kelly. Hi, Ray.
And faithfully in Hyle. Who's that?
Ray.
Oh, Ray. Ray.
Hello, Ray.
Ray.
Not Captain
Ray
Ray.
Ray Kelly.
oh, Captain Ray is in on
Kelly.
Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see Dre, Recovery Drone, is in the house too.
He is, yep. There he is.
I agree.
Uh-huh.
He's my brother.
Howdy, living contact. That's all right. We all have problems like that. I can't type any time, so don't worry about it. Not a problem at all.
The old fat thing.
Yeah, we haven't got a special guest on this week because unfortunately other things prevail. But we have got a guest coming up very shortly, which I'm going to show one of his videos now because he's a guy. Actually, he freaked me out a little bit because his name doesn't actually tell me his nationality, but he's from Belgium.
So what's his name? Fred.
No, funny you should say that. No,
Rufus.
but here's one of his videos.
Oh,
No.
very nice.
That was
Good.
absolutely
I wonder
phenomenal.
what happened to the other half of that bridge.
What happened to it?
Boomba!
I
Boomba!
bet that was during the Ardennes campaign during the Second
Oh, so
World
you reckon it
War.
got bombed?
Yes.
I had a long chat with Patrick. He's going to be joining us in about 2 weeks, I believe. He's actually sort of here, there, and everywhere at the moment. Because I noticed he had a lot of his videos were in Germany and whatever. And I was like, I thought, well, he can't be German. And I said, so where are you from? And he said, Belgium. I went, right.
Belgique.
But yeah, so Patrick will be joining us in a couple of weeks. So some more of the videos to come. And
What
Well, he's with us
drone does
now.
he fly?
He's with us now.
so
Yeah, what
Patrick,
drone does Patrick fly? Do you know? Is it an auto?
I'm not sure if he told me. Actually, no, I think you're about 2 hour, well, no, 1 hour conversation. I don't think we ever mentioned that, but
It's just, I was looking at the colouring on that video, and it looks just like an auto to me. Nice, rich colours.
Well,
Yeah, won't you
Arkin,
be shocked when you find out it's a Mavic Mini?
Well, that could well be. I don't think so. Got my
Yeah,
money.
yeah, I'm with you.
it could be a
Patrick,
Xeno. It could be a
can you tell
Xeno
us what-
Mini.
Patrick, can you give us what drone you were flying, please?
Is he in the chat?
Yeah, he's on his Facebook
Oh, cool.
user.
Ah,
I'm with you at Patrick Morris.
so
yeah.
Patrick. I did.
No, that's
So-
Ray Kelly saying that.
Hey, hang on.
Ray
What?
typed that. I'm with you now.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, never mind. Ray, tell us what Patrick Morris is flying.
Oh,
What's
there
on
we
you?
go. Watching on YouTube also now. So,
Who is Ray? Is.
Oh, Ray is, yeah.
I'm not sure. Are you there, Patrick? Is anybody there? Patrick, are you there?
I don't
Patrick.
think Patrick's here.
No, I don't think he is. No.
Does anyone know what drone Patrick's using?
Well, Dre is saying that it was a Spark. Well, listen, no, all kidding aside, Jackie, I've seen what you can do with a Spark, and let me
Yeah.
tell you, don't.
Drown it.
Don't buy one. Don't buy one.
No, I'm not going there. Terry,
Yeah,
shame
yeah,
on you. I
don't
was
do.
not going
Well,
there.
because we're having a chat.
I was complimenting her lovely drone skills. Jeez.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I know. So was Ryan. I filmed them.
definitely wasn't a spark. There was no underwater shots in that one.
Jackie, I'm not saying a word. Glug, glug, glug.
Anyway, Marcus, yeah, you're just right because
They're mean.
the colours on the Spark were always really, really
It
good.
just looks like seawater.
I remember flying with Jackie just across the road from where I live, and I had to put up a search party because
Oh, was that at El Corral when it went
in
into
El
Mexico?
Recorral. That was so funny.
Oh, dude.
Hello, Kim.
Hi, Kim. Nice to see you.
Hey,
Hi, Kim.
Kim's
I
in
must admit, Gary, I will say one thing, Gary, is that the Autel drone, I think I've always taken seriously as one of the very few other drones, apart from DJI drones, that I would always take seriously. I mean, I think they're a cracking drone. I mean, I've seen enough of Ross's videos to convert me.
I want that one.
Apart
Hey,
from the Skydio.
All kidding
That
aside,
has good colour as well.
that's exactly what I was going to say. This is the most underrated camera in the drone world right here.
Definitely.
For exactly what you described, Kev, the color science on this camera is so similar to a GoPro. You know, very, very vivid color.
Blue.
Very cinematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking in the chat about the Autel Evo Enterprise V2, but I mean the only thing I find with the Autel, well, I suppose a bit like the DJI drones, really. I mean, you need to take them seriously because the price certainly is. But you know, it's the same with DJI drones. I mean, are they overpriced? I don't know. Sometimes when I watch some Harvey, yes, sorry Harvey, I missed you there. I mean, Marcus, you've flown lots of different drones. I mean, in your apart from the Skydio apart, You've got DJI drones, which we all know are always reliable drones. The Autel drone. What other drones would you say are reliable?
Okay.
Well, Skydio's reliable, isn't it? With
Yeah,
the
so-
beacon?
Well,
So
yeah,
really-
but to me, the Skydio is it's a drone, so it does count. But it's to me, the Skydio is a certain type of
It's more of a niche product.
It's an is it an autonomous? Is that what they
Oh,
call
it
it?
is autonomous, but it is definitely more of a niche. It's known for tracking, autonomy, and so forth. You can fly it with the controller, but it's not the same as flying a DJI drone. It doesn't have the same precision that we're used to on a DJI drone when you're flying it. Now, autonomy-wise, it's second to none. I mean, it's unbelievable. And as I said, that camera is just phenomenal on that thing. But to your point, Steve, there really are only 3 manufacturers, I think, that you can, and I'm just talking about consumer drones here.
Yep.
Not professional products, just consumer drones. There's really only 3 manufacturers that play at the level that we would expect. And just as you said, that's DJI, Autel, and Skydio. They're the 3. Other than that, I mean, I've had some good luck and bad luck with Hubsan, good luck and bad luck with Fimi, but they just aren't at the level that I would call them second tier, right? Yeah, first tier, second tier, and then way down here is the third tier drone.
Well, I must admit, I mean, considering seeing Ross's work on these Autel and looking at the DJIs, if I must admit, one throw out if they were both on the level playing field money wise and like for like, I'm not sure what I'd choose.
Yeah, that Autel drone, the Evo 2, the prices you can catch it on sale right now, and you can actually get them pretty reasonable. I've never flown one, but Ron Brown absolutely loves his. Ross absolutely loves his.
Well,
by the way, I have some news about Ross as well. Ross also bought the Hubsan Xeno Mini Pro, the same drone that I've had some issues with. Yeah, he did, and he actually had a flyaway, lost the drone. It just took off on him, and
I thought he was going to say Ross threw it in the bin.
Well, at this point, he probably would like to, but now he is working with Hubsan, so hopefully they'll make it right.
Harvey said, DeMarco, welcome, DeMarco, just so you know. Harvey was saying, what was he saying? Does anyone notice? I've been reading all the flying instructions, never does loss of signal. DJI Mini turns and flies the route backwards for a while when it goes return home.
I can speak to that. So in fact, I did a whole video about it. What it does, so if you're flying out, and I think it applies to most DJI drones. I know it does to the Air 2S, and I know it does to the Mini. But if you fly it out far enough that it loses connection, the drone will back up 50 meters to try and regain connection. And then if it still can't regain connection, it'll go into return to home.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I must admit, I suppose really, I must confess, I don't think my Mini 2 I've ever lost connection with my Mini 2, ever.
I haven't either. I have done it for testing purposes. Like I said, I did a video at it with it, and I did it by turning off the controller to simulate.
So you did it deliberately,
so
right?
It flied backwards, did it?
And it did. The drone flew back.
Well, I suppose you could do that about 100 meters, 100 feet away from you. Well, less than that, couldn't you? Just fly away from you and just turn the controller off. Yeah, as you rightly say. So.
Yeah. So there's different things that the drone will do depending on how far away it is, and I'm trying to remember right off the top of my head, but there's a certain point. It's out so far. I think it's like 5 meters or maybe 10 meters.
Right.
If it loses connection, it'll just land. It doesn't even try and return to home. If it's out, I think as far as I can't remember, guys, 20 meters or 30 meters, it will return to home, but it won't raise to its return to home height. It'll just come back.
That's the same with the FPV. As soon as you lose transmission, it will break, and it will tell you aircraft braking,
Yes,
RTA.
yes, yeah,
And
that's
if you
right.
lift up, I've set mine to 30 meters, and it will go straight up to 30, and then you can then
Yeah,
press the brake again to take it out of RTH.
Right. Yes. So Terry, to your point, I'm very careful about that, and I set that return to home height depending on where I'm at. If I'm in a mountainous area, I set it way up to like 120 meters because the drone may have to go over the top of a peak or a tree or something. But if I'm in an area where I know it's wide open, just like what you're talking about, I'll leave it at like 30 meters.
I was just thinking, though, Marcus, what you said about the thing backing up, though, the danger of that, surely. I mean, I know most of the time you're going in that direction, but it's got no sensor. It's back up 50 meters right into a cliff.
Yeah, but well, I guess you could get you in trouble if you went over the top of something and then came down. I would buy that, Steve. Yeah, I see your point there. But typically, if you're just flying out of range, it's just going to retrace it.
Okay, but just supposing then, okay, so you're down on the Snake River, right? So you're flowing below the edge, and then you make a left turn, yeah, and then all of a sudden you lose signal. Now the drone is then facing or going to reverse right into the cliff, surely.
What kind of an idiot is going to fly below the rim of the canyon? No, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. No, that's a good point, Steve. No, you make a great point, and I can see where that could cause a problem.
Test it now, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So what you need to do is go down, fly below the rim of the canyon, stand up the edge, and see, just before it hits the edge, break, hit cancel, return home. Oh, you can't because you've got no signal with it. Oh, that's it. Yeah, you had it.
Harvey's saying it appears to repeat the route taken. So,
so it might turn the corner.
So it may.
Right.
Yeah.
I must admit, though,
I'm not sure I want to put that into practice.
Hey, you guys carry on. I'm going to go look at the manual for a second. I want to read exactly what it says.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good night, Gary.
Night, Gary. Stand by, Terry.
I will do, Gary. Thanks. He's a bugger, isn't he?
Yeah. I hope he watches your joke.
Oh,
you might do.
I was involved in a violent robbery.
Violent robbery the other day. Still, I made a few quid, so it wasn't all bad.
Hang on. I'm missing
That must be
something.
a typo. A violent robbery. Have we frozen?
I'm just trying to work out.
I think that's a typo. Violent.
Yeah, I think it means violent.
Yeah.
What could it be? I was involved in if it was a violent robbery the other day. Still made a few quid, so it wasn't all bad.
I guess he was the robber.
Come on, Gary.
Right, Gary. That wasn't one of your best ones, Gary. You'd have to come back and tell that one.
Hi, Gary.
Oh, Gary, you've upset Steve now. He's going to be thinking about this all week.
I've been worried about that joke all week now. I'm going to sit all week.
Or was it
I'm about to sleep. That's it. It's done.
What's violent got to do with robbery? Oh, Gary, tell us.
I think he's done it on purpose so he can come back and tell us the answer next week.
Yeah.
So for anyone who didn't understand the joke, neither did I. So you're not
Kim
on your
didn't
own.
get it either. We're all scratching our
Hey,
heads.
Steve, I am going to ask you for the screen for a second, and we'll just bring the.
There you go.
Violent.
He's the robber. See, told you.
Don't give it.
I committed the crime.
Get your coat, Gary. Get your coat.
See you next week, Gary. Have a good week, mate. Always look forward to it. So I got it. Good. And share with all of us.
Tell me when you got it, Steve.
Nah. I think my brain's fried. All that real hours fried my brain, I think. That was strong, that beer. 7.7%.
Wow.
Strong
Beer
beer.
festival.
Yeah.
Do you know where the beer festival was, by the way?
Was it Ely?
It was it was a cathedral in Bury.
Oh.
And at half past five, we sang hymns. Or rather, they did. I don't do singing hymns, but they sang hymns.
You prefer to sing hers, don't you?
No, I sat there with a pint of beer thinking. I thought there's some very good singers behind me. I must admit, I was very impressed.
I was waiting to see Marcus's results on this.
Yeah, I've got it ready.
Right, yes. Yes, sorry, we diversified completely.
Yeah, tell me when you got it, Steve.
Go. Oh, what? Oh, you somewhere. Okay, hang on. Right.
Fail safe. Return to home.
So that's right. If we look here, it says that it will fly backwards for 50 meters on its original flight route, which is so it doesn't go straight back. And then once it comes back 50 meters, it'll ascend to its return to home altitude. So that's good to know. And then it enters straight line once it hits its return to home altitude.
That's good.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't go straight. Literally, if it went backwards and you'd gone round the corner, like I said, it would actually go back round. It would reverse back round the corner again.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. What's your guys from the gazebo? What pond?
He's got a new gazebo.
Oh.
Yeah, live and learn, Harvey says.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Harvey, running out of ale, I don't think it's going to be a problem calling that lot of there today. There must have been, I don't know. But bear in mind, I think it was beer from within a radius, was it 30 miles? I thought there must be a lot of brewers around our way, I tell you. Because honestly, there was about 3 tents full of them. But I think I've had a fluid ounce of each one of them. I wouldn't be able to walk over. So it just goes to show, read the manual. No.
You know, I'm thinking of another test, right? So what I need to do is I need to take it out and fly it on, and make it like a hard right turn or something.
Or left turn, yeah.
Yeah, and then unhook the controller and see if it, just watch the drone and see what it does.
Yeah.
Well, I think what you should do, Marcus, is actually put your video camera where not where you normally put the video camera, so do the turn so it's actually on film, and we'll show it on here and just demonstrate the way it works.
Well, with the GoPro, I think you'd have to have the Mini in particular. It would be so far away that it'd be difficult to get.
Well, no, because it doesn't have to be that far away. Because if you turn the controller off, if you're going to turn the controller off to simulate the loss of signal, I
understand. But if I'm close enough to do that, the drone will just return to home. It won't.
No, because you've got to fly out. You've got to fly. You've got to turn the angle to see where it actually reverses the angle.
Or put your GoPro at the other end of the football pitch and fly over to it and turn.
Yeah.
What's Sarah for?
Yeah. That's true. Have her out there with the
Sarah. We've got a little job.
I'm going to tell her you said that, Terry.
No, don't. Because when we meet, you'll remember.
That's it. So he's asked for a BLT. He's told us he's got to go film for us.
It's not Terry's day today, is it?
Hey, Bernie's in the house. How are you doing, Bernie? Bernie's in. Read the manual for all else fails. Well,
okay.
Pretty much that's what I do.
If the aircraft is less than 20 meters from home when return to home begins, it will hover in place and not return to home. Or otherwise, the aircraft will land immediately. If it's farther than 20 meters from home, it will return to home at a speed of 10.5 meters per second. So you've got to be farther than 20 meters, I guess is what I'm saying.
That's just been awkward, that drone, isn't it? Every week suggested the drone does something different.
Yeah.
If you use your own quads, I buy. I pretty much know the whole manual before I even get. Well, that's very true. I mean, I must. I'm as guilty as that. If I'm going to buy a drone, you know, I do. I'm flying a racing drone. Before I was sort of half committed to it, and then I thought, well, do I really want this drone? And I'm watching a load of videos, and the videos either sell it to me, or I think, nah, actually, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So, Steve, what you're saying is you didn't buy the Xeno Mini Pro.
Well, no, because I watched enough videos thinking, I'll tell you what, I'd only buy it and throw it in the bin. Hey, you see, that's the thing, Marcus, is people like you do videos, it makes me realise that I'd be a mug to buy it, wouldn't I?
Well, I'll tell you, to be honest with you, Steve, that's exactly why I do those videos. That's exactly.
But you know, the people, I do thank people for doing their videos. I mean, there's some great people on there actually creating some very good video, very informative videos. Not look how I can fly this, but look what this thing can and can't do, and the thing and things to not do with that drone, etc. You know, so it makes you sort of appreciate the whole story, doesn't it?
Well, I've got a question for you and Terry then, Steve. Air Photography just put out a video on 6 months with the DJI FPV drone.
All right.
It was fascinating, and he had some really interesting conclusions and experiences with that drone.
Which one was that, Marcus?
Sean, his channel name is Air Photography. He is in Canada. It's a big channel. He's got, I don't know, well over 200,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
But he's very short and to the point, and he really, I mean, you just had to agree with all of his conclusions that he came up with on that drone. It was fascinating.
I think, like with the FPV there, and we discussed this week before last, that, you know, people, the purists who want an FPV to do acro and all the rest of it, it's there. And for the likes of Steve and I, and all we want to do is to go down a little bit low and a little bit fast.
As I think, as we said in the first place, when that drone first hit the market, the one thing I remember saying, and at that time I was very sort of on the fence with it, but what I said is the DJI brought an FPV drone out to suit people like us, not necessarily to suit people like Bernie. I mean, I'm assuming Bernie has actually flown an FPV.
Yeah, he's got the DJI FPV now.
But Bernie's been flying FPV drones. We've seen lots of his videos. The way he flies a drone, an FPV drone, you know, and I wish I could, you know. And Bernie says, "Well, I'm not that good." I thought, in my eyes, you're brilliant.
I must admit, though, Steve, I do watch Bernie's videos, and some of the places that we've been to, I think, well, what would Bernie do? And I'm not saying this because I know Bernie's listening, but if you look at some of the stuff he's done going up alongside mountains and things, well, we've got the same here, and I can do the same.
It does seem to me that the general consensus of FPV drones is to get that shot and be very close to things. This is what makes it exhilarating, because you're flying a drone. It's almost like any second now that drone is going to go and hit something, isn't it? And unless you're doing that, unless you're flying a drone like that, if you're flying a drone 100 meters in the air, you can do all sorts of things. You can, you know, loop the loop, do what you like. And everyone's going to go, yeah, okay, yeah.
Stick to your Mavic 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just love, and the reason I bought it was we've got some cave areas around here, and going in between the caves, down in the caves, around the trees, around the rocks and everything, I couldn't do it with my Mavic.
And it's a different perspective as well, isn't it? You know, it's let's go.
I've got to ask you guys, and this is kind of directed at Terry and Steve again. Did you happen to see Ken Heron's meetup this past weekend? At what they call
I haven't watched it yet.
And just when you were describing those videos, Steve and Terry, that's what that whole Minefield meet was about. And some of the videos that people are posting from there, including Ken Heron, just will blow your mind. And you talk about small little holes and literally going through drainage pipes, and
Oh wow.
I mean, just amazing stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is, I suppose because you've actually got the goggles on, you can, you have got that closeness, especially with the DJI drone. But when I was some of the footage with, well, I know that John Coopy, Bernie, when I've seen the quality of that, I think, how on earth can they fly a drone just seeing that quality? Because to me, it's not that good. You know, it's really like, it looks like a very broken up picture to me. So hats off to them guys who fly them drones like that, using that sort of. I mean, I haven't got as brave as I have seen a very digital picture. So you know.
Hey, Steve, can I ask you a question? Have you put it in acro mode? I mean, up at height, done any flips or any of that yet?
No, because what you have to do in the actual the software, you have to enable all that.
Right.
The manual. If I was to switch mine to manual now, it wouldn't do anything. Mine's
Right.
only
You
program.
have to flip another switch, right?
You have to go into the software. So I can't even. You have to go into it, allow that to actually work.
Yeah, you've also got to take this part of the control.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And because on this side, sorry,
Take
because
that
you're on a
spring out.
spring,
You
Yeah.
take
You've
the
got to
spring
take
out.
the
That's right.
spring
Because an FPV drone, it doesn't go from the middle upwards. It goes from the bottom up to make it to speed.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
that's right. And it's complete. You've got to take the springs off to make it.
Just one though, isn't it?
Personally, I'm scared. I just have so much fun with it.
I think the secret is, Terry, and someone said this last week. Was it last? I'm trying to think now. Not last week, the week before last. The guy who doing the crop circles. Sorry, I forgot his name now. But he was saying about the what was we talking about? He's flying in. He said he got his tray away and put it into manual mode. But wasn't he talking about a simulator we could use with it?
Yeah, well,
Not the DJI one.
It's a sim called Liftoff, and I thought to myself, well, you can use that and get yourself really up to speed. But I decided against it because I'm doing all of that anyway outside, nice and gently.
Right.
I'm in no rush. What's the rush about doing anything?
Hey, I want to make one quick point, please, Steve. Johnny Boneflyer just came in the chat, and he is right in the path of Hurricane Ida right now. So I just want you to know that you're in our thoughts, and stay safe, my friend.
Yeah, indeed, Johnny.
Absolutely.
Stay safe, please. Yeah.
Yeah. And as for Lost Girl Hikes comment there, what's our thoughts on the DJI FPV? I hate it. But I tell you what, I don't think I want to fly any other drone. And we were talking about this on Tuesday.
Well, let's put it this way. I mean, I speak on behalf of Terry that Terry had a Mavic Zoom drone,
Yes.
which come to a short demise, and then he bought another Mavic Zoom, and then he bought the DJI FPV drone, and they doesn't want the Zoom anymore. So if anyone wants to buy a Mavic Zoom, we know one is on for sale. Good price.
The Mavic Zoom is for sale with loads of extras.
With loads of extras. So please check it out on the drone. And I shall advertise again on this. So, but anyway, I hope that answers your question, because basically the DJI FPV drone from two people who've been flying it now for what? How long ago was Terry? 4 or 5 months?
Yeah, about that. Absolutely love it.
It's a great little drone, and it's very responsive, and you can use it for more than just flying up here and spinning around. And well, basically, I don't use spinning around. I just use a drone. But it to me, it's the thrill of flying it at 60 miles an hour. I think does it for me.
Yeah.
That's why I'm afraid to buy one. Why?
No, I know, Marcus, because you'll have to end up emptying your whole man cave, and you'll probably buy
One
3.
drone. That's it. Yep.
Yeah. But I tell you what Johnny has just said, Johnny Droneflyer, that it's got no zoom. Well, to be quite honest,
Fly closer.
Yeah.
So you must do it.
but that's exactly why you've got goggles on, and you can get as close as you like. And 300 meters away, you can get within inches of your subject.
Mm.
And, you know, it's fabulous.
Just a quick question for you, Terry, before we change it. You say you fly your drone quite low a lot of the time.
Yes.
Do you do that in what mode do you do that in, though?
Well, I'll go in normal mode.
Because I find if I fly mine low in sport mode, it goes mad. It goes absolutely. I get red and orange lights flashing, and it's like I've got an American police car in my head. That's it.
It's because you're getting closer to subjects, and you're getting. Well, it's true.
Kim's never going to let me drop the.
Oh no!
I was convinced I saw some crop circles just before my drone decided to lose signal. I said, "There's some crop circles here." He went, "Where did that feel?" When we looked again, it wasn't crop circles; they were tractor marks. They look like crop circles, like a chessboard, actually.
No, but if you are flying in sport mode at low level, the fact that you're going to approach those obstacles a lot quicker you are than in normal.
Yeah, I mean the problem you've got as well is, I mean, I can understand why it kept doing it. It's when you get below about 50 feet, I believe it is, but when you think about it, at 60 miles an hour, 50 feet would soon come down if you're going in that direction.
So you guys are joking around, but the controller for the Skydio 2 has a zoom button on it. You know what the zoom button does? You press the zoom button and it moves the drone forward.
There you go. You see, that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's the same as that one then, Marcus. That one there.
Yeah.
There you go.
All in all, though, it's horses for courses. If you want one, get one. That's what I feel. And once I get my camper van with a landing pad on the top, then we'll be away.
Excellent.
So,
do you want a DJI FPV drone, Bernie? Bernie saying wants a drone? Oh, he's got a Mavic Zoom.
I had a toy drone going 118 miles an hour on Friday.
No, don't buy one. Do not deter from buying one. Buy one.
Just get in there and buy one.
Yeah. Love it.
I am surprised that Marcus hasn't got one yet, in all fairness.
Well, I'm just telling you, I had a toy drone going 118 miles an hour on Friday.
Just right on the cliff.
I had it in the back. I had it in the back of my Corvette when I was going down the.
Yeah, that's what. So that, but a bit of a clue there. I reckon that's Ross.
Ah, Ross. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
There.
His ears
G'day.
must be burning. We've been
G'day,
talking
mate.
about you, Ross.
G'day, mate. Put another
So
strip
Ross,
on the bra.
What was it we were going to ask Ross now that he's finally here?
Well, I was going to ask if Hudson ever got back to him if they're sending him a new drone.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm glad Ross is on. I've got an Australian drone tonight.
The Hampshire Flyer does crop circles. His channel was doing well. The Hampshire Flyer. Anyway, Steve from Yorkshire Drone Seekers ruined it for me. He told me it ain't aliens. He said it's rope.
Aliens. Don't believe him.
No,
It's aliens.
I'm sticking to my story. It's aliens. I watched the film E.T. Close Encounter of Cinema, mate. Sorry.
Try Galaxy Quest.
You what? You got a request?
No, Galaxy Quest.
Quest.
Oh,
Yeah.
you said you got a request. You're a DJ.
Brilliant film.
I'll give up being a DJ a long while ago. Right. Okay. So I have what? I have a Zoom. See, Bernie hasn't got a DJI FPV.
Oh.
Bernie, you got to buy one.
We thought you had one, Bernie.
I'll tell you what, Bernie. If you buy a DJI FPV drone, right, you make loads of videos, and I promise I'll show all the videos on here, because I'll tell you there'll be something else, wouldn't they? Just imagine Bernie for an FPV drone.
I've been thinking all along that I've been following Bernie's lead, and he's been doing it with a Zoom. Why did I buy
He's nowhere near those rocks, is he?
No.
So now what he did, Terry, is he attached a jetpack to that Zoom.
Yes. Do you remember the old Jetex engines you used to buy? The solid fuel motor.
Oh yeah. Estes
Yeah.
rocket engines and yeah.
Anyway, I've got another video to show here, and right, I won't say I've got two to show actually, so we'll show this one first. Yeah, Julie. Right, Julie.
Beautiful.
I wonder if
Julie-
she plays the piano in that because she's
It
that might be her playing.
I reckon
could
it
be.
was.
It could be, but Jeannie. Oh no, it's almost what? Jeannie's not here tonight, so I don't know where she is, but she can answer that question. Jeannie, if you watch this on playback, put the answer in. Was it you playing or was it not? Anyway, yes, time's running away with us tonight. I don't know where it's going. It was so much fun.
Not yet. Surely not yet.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
And now it's time for Terry's Joke of the Week.
Carry
Now. I'm ready. Are you ready? It's Antipodean week this week, and I'm glad Ross is here. You've got this circus owner, and he's on the hunt out for a wild kangaroo tamer. And these two people show up. One's a retired golfer in his late 60s. In fact, he wasn't a golfer, he was an old miner. And the other, some gorgeous blonde in her mid-20s. Circus owner tells them, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This one is one ferocious kangaroo. He ain't my last tamer, so you two had better be good for your history. There's your gear. It's a chair, a whip, and a gun. Who wants to go out first? And the girl says, I'll go. She walks past the chair, the whip, and the gun, and steps right into the kangaroo's cage. Now this kangaroo's big. He is massive. And he starts to stroke and pull at the earth and everything, and his tail's going, but he starts to run them. Well, not run, but you know how kangaroos jump? And he's jumping right towards her. And as she does that, she throws open her coat, revealing her beautiful naked body. And then this kangaroo stops dead in his tracks. And he looks. And then he quietly crawls up to her and starts licking her feet and ankles. He continues to lick and kiss her entire body for several minutes. He rests his head at her feet. The circus owner's jaw's on the floor. He says, I've never seen a bloody display like that in my life. Then he turns to the retired miner and says, can you top that? And the tough old miner says, nah, probably. He says, just get that fucking kangaroo out of it.
Terry's joke of the week.
The language. I was got so carried away then. It was going to be bloody kangaroo.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's after curfew. We're okay. No, it's not.
Oh, we're all right.
Not
So
here.
I
Oh no,
apologise.
I'm in trouble. BBC, I'm sorry. You realise I sent them to the BBC? You realise that?
Oh, bleep, bleep, bleep.
Oh dear, oh
Yeah.
dear.
Actually, I saw that one. Mandy Deer put it on her Facebook page, so I changed it slightly for several reasons. But yeah, thank you, Mandy.
Actually, I watched I was watching Jeffro the other night. For anyone who don't know Jeffro is a Cornish comedian here in the UK. At least I think he's still alive anyway. And his whole accent makes his less than great sort of joke telling, but he just makes it funny. He just tells the story. And he told that joke the other night about the one you told about the guy who had to have a gun at the bottom of the tree. He said he was going to shake the gorilla out of the tree, and the dog was going to grab hold of the. And he said, I'm going to climb up the tree. And he said, if I fall out of the tree, he said, what's the gun for? He said, in case I fall out of the tree. but the dog was going to attack the gorilla in a very vital place in his life.
Yeah.
I thought, so, all right, Jeffro must be watching Terry.
Yeah. Do you know I've got
Our own Terry Hawes is the master of accents. Your girl voice in that one, Terry.
Oh yeah, and then go again. Oh yeah.
Next time. You want one from New York? Hey, next time you come in here, boy.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I'll see you there if you're from Northern Ireland.
Oh
See,
dear. Choke now, look.
He's choking, yes.
Right.
you gave Steve a touch of the COVID, Terry.
Touch of the COVID. It's going up all the time. Every day you would read the news, you think, oh, dear.
Yeah, it's a tragedy. Yeah, it's a tragedy here as well.
Apparently, I heard, Marcus, whether this was just, but apparently there's a new variant in America.
Beyond the Delta variant, I'm not sure, Steve. I haven't heard, but the Delta is bad enough. In fact, at the championship races, one of the other teams, the guy that was the captain of the team and his son both passed last week of COVID. And our hospitals here locally are very near to what they call, I'm trying to remember the terminology that they use, but it's an emergency situation where they will literally triage people before they're admitted to the hospital now because they don't have beds, so they have to just take the very sickest. So
it's. I mean, I mean, I think the vaccine has actually sort of has helped in the UK, but you know, we wait with bated breath, as it were. I've got one more video to show. I think we've got time to show this. I'm telling you a short video, but I'm determined to show this video. So let's have a quick look at this.
You remember me when the west wind moves among the fields of barley. You can tell the sun in his jealous sky when we walked in fields of gold. So she took her love for to gaze a while among the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her hair came down among the fields of gold. Will you stay with me? Will you be my love among the fields of barley? And you can tell the sun in his jealous sky when we walked in fields of gold. I never made promises lightly. There have been some that I've broken, but I swear in the days still left, we'll walk in fields of gold. We'll walk in fields of gold.
Nice.
Luke certainly loves to film his well, around in Suffolk, one thing we do have is plentiful supply of combine harvesters and tractors. No mountains, no rivers. Well,
And no lorry drivers.
And no lorry drivers, no. Yeah. Well, presently in the UK, we have got a mass shortage of lorry drivers. If anyone wants to come over to this country and drive lorries, I mean, it's crazy. It's a crazy. I don't know whether the situation's like that in Spain, but it's nuts over here.
Same in the U.S., Steve. So you're not alone. I mean,
Right.
a lot of jobs, but like I used to be in that business, and I still have a lot of friends in the transportation business, and
Yeah.
you just can't hire drivers. I'll give you just a quick example. I have a very good friend that is a manager of a company in Portland, Oregon, big trucking company. And I asked him the other day, I said, listen, Ed, if I came to work for you, how much would I make as a first-year driver? He said $90,000 a year.
Wow.
I said, how much would I make then by the second year? You're going to be over 100. He says, probably around 120. And he said, I cannot find drivers.
Well, it was on our local news. I mean, this company was saying that they can't, they can't transport anything because they've got lorries just sitting there with empty cabs. They've got drivers.
Right.
And he said, we had two guys coming for an interview today. He said, didn't show up.
But the pay they get over here is really poor, and that's why.
Well, you say that, Kev. I'm sure if you was a lorry driver now, you can name your own salary.
No, it's not the case. They're not willing to give more at the moment. When I used to drive a truck, I was on 7.5 ton. I was on £14 an hour.
Wow.
You'd be lucky now to get £10 an hour. So
Well, if you drive an Arctic, I thought you'd get more than that, wouldn't you? Surely.
no,
My daughter gets £9.50 an hour for cleaning.
you're looking at about £14,000 for an Arctic Class 1.
Wow.
And the hours are long. The hours are very long.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I haven't got a friend who's a lorry driver. I mean, I haven't seen him for a while, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I think in the UK, the last count there was about 1 million vacancies, not for just lorry drivers, but 1 million vacancies. So the pandemic has had a sort of a wipeout, and then
There was a
the other
lead
way.
up. If you think about it, though, even before the pandemic, there was a shortage of labor, and the pandemic exacerbated that to the point now that it's just absurd.
Well, a lot of people obviously lost their jobs. Obviously, we had systems over here in place where people were getting 80% of their wages, so it did help the employers keep their staff. But so where all these vacancies have come from, I'm not quite sure. Whether just growth, I don't know. But there we are. Well, hopefully it will sort itself out, and I hope COVID will go away one day. But I'm not sure what the way it'll go with that one. But anyway, it's that time again. Thanks for joining us in the chat, and good to see you all. And we'll do it all again next week, just before my trip to Bonnie, Scotland. Okay, didn't you, Jimmy? Hey.
Terry's accents are better, Steve.
They are. Yeah.
Yeah, but he can't do a bloody bloody blah, can he?
Bloody bloody blah.
Bloody bloody blah.
Which one's that?
Bloody blah.
There you go.
That's a
blah.
Steve accent.
No, you got to do it on this, Terry. Bloody blah.
That was a bloody blah.
Joining us tonight on the Drone Seekers Sunday Show. It's good night from us until next time. Stay safe and fly safe.